Have you ever wondered what it really takes to make Agile work? Well, at the Global Agile Summit, we're bringing you real-life, first-person stories of Agile succeeding out there in the real world that will inspire you to take action. Whether you're a leader, a product innovator, a developer, you'll hear practical insights from those who've done it. They'll be telling their own stories from the stage. I'll tell you more about this at the end of this episode, so stay back and listen to the full detailed description of what we have in store for you at the Global Agile Summit. But if you can't wait, you can go right now to globalagilesummit.com and check out our full schedule. For now, on to the episode, but I'll see you at the end of this episode with more details on the Global Agile Summit. Talk to you soon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Team Tuesday. And this week, joining us from Belgrade in Serbia is Marina Lazovic. Hey, Marina, welcome back.
Hi. Nice to be back.
So Tuesday is Team Tuesday, of course. We'll talk about teams in a second, though, because first we want to know, Marina, what was the book that most inspired you as a Scrum Master?
Oh, it's very difficult to name one. Going through different steps of my learning curve, there were a lot of different things that were very important at the time. But I'll try to name one or maybe a couple that I think were important to me and could be useful, I think, to a lot of especially new Scrum Masters. One of the biggest ones that I can maybe advise someone to read is The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. I know that's probably something that's not new that a lot of Scrum Masters recommend, but I think it's really worth it. There is so much to take away out of that book, learning all the dysfunctions with so many good examples that you can really actually see in practice. For me, while I was reading the book first time, I found there were so many moments, oh, this is why this happens, when you see lack of accountability and then behaviors. I said, oh, so that's what it is, and you can point out to all of these dysfunctions, and really then I think it's very useful for a Scrum Master to use all of this information, even share them, with the team when they realize, okay, the team is having maybe this dysfunction, point it out and use it as a starting conversation with the team to discuss very transparently. Okay, I noticed that we have this problem or this challenge in the team, so let's try to see how we can overcome it. So I think that is one of the very useful books that I would recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a classic.
Yeah.
But it is an amazing book and filled with very actionable ideas too, right? It's, of course, the patterns you can easily recognize, but a lot of ideas of what to do. So definitely check out The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. But of course, Marina, we're here to talk about the teams and how sometimes they create their own problems, just like in that tale or fable, as Lencioni calls it, of the 5 dysfunctions of a team. So tell us that story. Give us a little bit of context so that we understand, what kind of project it is, what kind of team it is, and then walk us through how these small little behaviors developed, grew, and eventually created problems for the team.
I have this one team working. It's mostly it's a small team, 3 developers working on mostly front-end items. It's a cross-functional team, but most of the work was front-end fixes, creating some small adjustments. But there had a lot of challenges with environments not working and some things that are heavily influenced by the backend guys that need their support, and things kept breaking up and so on. And the product owner was always pushing them to deliver, like every product owner does. But the dysfunction or what happened to that team was they started working on so many things at the same time. And this is what happened when I joined the team. I couldn't really understand what the team was working on because it was a small team, like 3 developers, one tester, and they had 50 tickets in progress. When you look at Jira, there's so many things that are red, like blocked, flagged, waiting for feedback. We don't know what to do with it. We started this. We need to stop and we need to wait for something there. So they were working on so many things at the same time and never getting things done. Things were sticking for forever, like in progress, and that led to on one hand, a bit of micromanagement from the product owner because he was
the product owner was kind of desperate, like, what is going on? I have no transparency, nothing is progressing, and they decided to start to go into the details. Is that what you mean?
Yes, he was trying to get to understand what the team is actually working on, what the developers are working on, because there were like 3 or 4 tickets per developer. That's generally for how I like to do things a lot at the same time, depending on the team. But in general, for that team, looking at their board, it was too much. Like everyone has a couple of things. So it was really then leading to micromanagement that shouldn't be necessarily happening or should ever be happening, but that wouldn't maybe be happening by the product owner if they weren't having so many things done at the same time. Then the product owner was trying to manage each developer by getting into each detail. Okay, what's going on here? What's going on here?
So they tried to unblock them, right?
Yeah, in a way, trying to unblock them on one hand. On the other hand, I think he was also part of this big dysfunction, letting things be in that way. So that was one of the very big problems that I faced. One dysfunction that's really not so uncommon with the teams, having too many things, so no limits
in their process. Sprint. One of the things that comes to mind is like when we face a situation like this, and teams that have a lot of work ongoing is a very common problem.
Yeah.
Often because they are pushed to, sometimes because they just get interrupted, other times because there's stuff that just lingers from the previous sprint and they don't really count it as the part of the new sprint and so on. There's all kinds of reasons for that. But, Luke, our friendly Scrum Master out there, he's just now working with one team that is going through the same problem. They have a lot of work in process. Every developer, 2 or 3 items, just like that one. The product owner is starting to micromanage the developers, just like what you described. What could Luke do to help the team and the product owner?
Well, the first thing that I did, of course, what I think first the Scrum Master should do is try to understand what's going on, try to really understand why that is happening. Talk to the team, talk to the product owner, see where is the problem, but how to help really fast resolve that is limit work in progress. Just limit work in progress. Start with something. It doesn't have to be, I know that in my experience, mentioning this for the first time to product owners, it was very difficult for them to accept, not so much for developers, because they found it really like eye-opening. Oh, there is a way that we don't have to do so many things at the same time. That's possible. Sometimes, I found out that developers were not really aware that they don't have to do so many things at the same time. They were in some companies, or basically in this company, there was maybe even the cultural organizational culture that people have to be busy. It seems like they're not if they're not or at every moment, every second, having something that they're doing that they're not being productive, that they're not doing enough. So when I brought up this work in progress limits option, that we can say we can limit the work in progress. We don't have to do so many things at the same time. It's usually for developers something that it's like eye-opening, and they are in awe, like, oh yeah, we can.
But how about the product owners?
But the product owner, in my situation, the product owner wasn't really happy. He didn't really understand, like, oh, how, we have to get things done. We have priorities. Things are coming. We cannot say no. That is a problem that the product owners are facing. So it took a while, and it's usually taking for me a while to get product owners on board with WIP limits. But if you get them on board at least try to say, experiment, say, okay, let's do this just for a couple of sprints. Maybe one sprint is not enough. It's often not enough to really show how things can change, because you have to have a bit longer period of collecting the data, to be able to look at that data and see how things are changing. But maybe three sprints, that would be ideal if your product owner agrees to that, to see how that would change. And when I got my product owners to agree to not push things, or to just be cool with, okay, we're limiting work in progress. We can't take new things. Developers need to get things done and focus on unblocking things. And then things start to flow faster, and things start to get done. And you can see in a couple of sprints that the team is delivering more, and they are not so stressed, they're not so pressured. Then the product owners get on board, but they need like evidence to show them the data and see how it works in practice.
Absolutely. And we need to be patient with them as well, because the product owners are also under pressure, and we need to make them feel that we are there to help them. And if we just go there and say, hey, you need to limit WIP, they obviously might not think we're there to help, even though limiting WIP is probably the best way for them to get their work done.
Exactly.
Ironically. But that was a great story. Thank you for sharing that, Marina. Hey, friend, thank you for staying. Here is all you need to know about the Global Agile Summit. If you've ever suffered or know people who are suffering from Agile fatigue, this event is for you. Agile fatigue is that feeling that settles in when we can't really see a light at the end of the tunnel. We get discouraged, especially when conversations revolve around the same old frameworks, the same old buzzwords and theories. We don't feel that energy anymore. Well, the Global Agile Summit is a different kind of event. We're bringing you real-life first-person stories of Agile succeeding out there in the real world that will inspire you to take action and transform the way you work. The Global Agile Summit will happen in Tallinn, Estonia, May 18th, that's the workshop day, and then 19th and 20th, the conference day. And Tallinn, Estonia is one of the most innovative tech hubs in Europe. The Global Agile Summit is hosted together with Latitude 59, which is kind of a citywide celebration of software startups and groundbreaking ideas. And we'll have a shared ticket for you to attend those events as well. So who will be speaking? Well, we've got an incredible lineup of thought leaders in software and Agile. For example, Clinton Keith, the person who literally wrote the book on game development with Scrum, and is busy bringing Agile to the world of game development. You must check his session. The very famous and well-known Jürgen Apelo, author of Management 3.0, will be talking and exploring about AI's impact on leadership. We also have Gojko Adzic, who's taking an unconventional look at the product growth with his lizard optimization keynote. Other speakers include, for example, Sven Dietz, who's challenging everything we know about software development by literally ditching contracts and estimates. Can you imagine? His teams deliver software before Their competitors are even done with the contract negotiation. How agile is that? But there's more. We'll cover engineering practices in our developer track with talks on, for example, AI-assisted test-driven development, developing products in minutes with a different approach to how we develop, configure, deploy platforms, and much more. We also have a product track where we cover cutting-edge ideas around product discovery, delighting customers with product delight frameworks. We'll have a talk about that. And we also have an agile business track where we will talk about, for example, open strategy, a very agile approach to managing organizations and delivering software faster to clients, faster than you can even write a contract. Literally, I mean, I already told you about Sven Ditz's story. It's amazing. It definitely is a must-see. I'm sure you'll be inspired and get a lot of ideas for your own software projects and software delivery. Now, whether you're a business leader, a product innovator, or a developer, you'll definitely find value in our 3 focused tracks. That's Agile Business for those working with businesses and organizations, Agile Product for product managers, product owners, and innovators, and Agile Developer for the builders, making Agile work in practice, the coders, the testers, the designers, the producers, the Scrum Masters, you name it. If you join, you will meet over 200 Agile professionals from all over the world. People who, just like you, want to grow, want to share, and want to learn by challenging the ideas that don't work anymore. At the Global Agile Summit, you'll get new connections, fresh ideas, and the energy to take your own Agile to the next level. And who knows, maybe even find your next career opportunity. So don't miss out. Check out the full program and grab your ticket now at globalagilesummit.com. I'm really looking forward to seeing you all in Tallinn, Estonia in May. I'll see you there.